Hey guys, it's Megan with MeaganNichole.com, and today I want to show you the easiest way to cover your wire shelving in all your closets. So when we moved into our house a few years ago, one thing I didn't really care for was all of the wire shelving, just like that builder grade wire shelving. It's very standard, it serves its purpose, but it could be so much better. Yes, we could replace the wire shelving with wood shelves, and that would be really cool and really pretty. But when we moved in here, there was a ton of things we needed to do way before that. But honestly, I really don't mind these covers, and they hold up pretty well. So I've done this project in a couple places in our home. I've done it in our pantry, our linen closet, and then now our closet in our master bathroom. I like this because, first of all, it's super easy. I don't need Alex's help to do it, and it helps. Even though I have these baskets, like if I have something loose, I can just set it on top of the shelf and it's not gonna fall through or be all wonky. And with the contact paper, it makes the closet look nicer. So for this project, you only need a few things. First thing is a couple sheets of foam board. So foam board, if you've never used it, is a lot like poster board. It's just thicker, and it's basically two pieces of poster board with foam in the middle. It's not real thick, it's whatever that is. And you can find it at Dollar Tree, Walmart. I'm sure you can find it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's too, or your local craft store. I wouldn't pay any more than like $1 per sheet. If it's more expensive than that, you can find it cheaper, trust me. So you'll want to measure your shelf before you go to buy your foam board. Our closets in our home are fairly standard, and I already know from experience that I just need one sheet per shelf. If your closets are wider than these, you might need more than that. And then the next thing on the list is contact paper. So contact paper you can get on Amazon, Walmart, craft stores. You can pretty much find it anywhere. This is actually, I thought I was going to use this for this project, but I had enough left over from the linen closet project that I didn't end up using it. But contact paper usually comes in a roll like this. If you get it at Walmart, it's usually by the drawer liners, you know, that rubbery liner that you can put in drawers so things don't slide around. It's usually by that in like the kitchen area. One tip, make sure you like the design on the contact paper when it's rolled out. So I actually have some left. For our pantry, it's not the worst, but I bought this pattern and it's fine. I thought it was gonna be a lot prettier rolled out, and maybe you can tell, but I liked the pattern on it because it was, you know, kind of modern, geometric. I like the look. It's kind of like a goldish tan color, and I thought it would be, you know, fairly neutral, no big deal. But now that it's in my pantry, it looks kind of old lady-ish. I'm not a huge fan. It looks better than it did with the wire shelves, but I'm still not a huge fan of the pattern. So one of these days I might replace it. I probably won't, but we'll see. So just make sure that you like not the fabric, but the pattern when it's rolled out. If you don't like it, then I would suggest returning it so you don't have to stare at this ugly pattern that you don't like. So once you got your foam board and your contact paper, you're pretty much ready to go. You just need like a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife to cut the foam board and the contact paper, a measuring tape to measure your shelves as well as the foam board when you put it on the shelves, and looking at my notes. Oh, and then you'll want like a flat edge. I used to use a kitchen spatula to rub out any bubbles in your contact paper. You don't have to be super picky because you put a lot of stuff on top. I would be picky about this part of your shelf, and we'll get into that later, but don't stress too much if you have little bubbles on the top because you're not really gonna see them. So once you have all your supplies together, you're ready to go. I'm really excited to show you guys this because I think you're going to be surprised at how easy of a project this is and how much nicer and how much more practical it makes your closets. I promise you're gonna want to do this in the rest of your house. So once you have all your supplies, you have your contact paper, you have enough foam board, you're gonna want to empty out your closet. I would suggest throwing everything in actually before that, I would take a picture of your closet so that you kind of know if it's already organized the way you like. I would take a picture so you remember where everything goes, and it's real quick to put everything back once you're done with this project. And I would empty all your contents into like a container, or I use laundry baskets, so that way you can just fill up the laundry basket, bring it back in when you're done, and just It just makes things a lot easier. If your closet isn't organized the way you want, I would suggest using baskets. I actually don't care for my color scheme of baskets in here, but that's just me being picky. They serve their purpose, and I promise baskets just make it so much easier to keep your closets more organized, especially in like a bathroom when you have a bunch of tiny little objects. So I have things sorted, like this is all my hair stuff for the most part. We have medicine down here. If you drop down to the shelf, you probably can't see it, but like my nail polish and all that stuff. And it's just an easier way to make sure everything has a home. So once your closet's empty, then you can start removing the shelves. You don't have to move the very last one on the very bottom. For this video, I think I went ahead and took all of them out because I forgot that I didn't necessarily have to do that. But if you do that, it does make it easier to kind of give everything a good wipe down and sweep everything out. So if you want to remove it, you can, but you just don't have to. Now that your closet's empty, you're ready to cut your foam board. When doing this, you want to make sure that the foam board is the same length and width as your shelf, but then you also want to add 2 extra inches to the length of your foam board so that way it can cover this front part of your shelf. Once you've cut one foam board and you like the way it looks and like the way it fits on the shelf, you can use that as your template for the rest of the shelf covers that you're going to make. Now you can either move on to adding the contact paper to the first shelf, or I believe I cut all of my foam boards to the appropriate size first, and then I added the contact paper next. So once you're ready to do that, I just cut a big enough piece of contact paper to cover the entire shelf, including this front lip. Then peeled off the backing and then laid the foam board on top. Flipped it over and then smoothed the bubbles out from the middle out. As you can see in this video, I'm a little sloppy on this step, and I believe that's because I have Stetson in the carrier and he was waking up, so I was trying to hurry up and finish. I wouldn't recommend rushing this part. Once you like the way it looks and it's nice and smooth, flip it back over and fold over the edges. I would suggest folding the lip edge over first because that's what you're going to see. Again, you're not going to really see, besides like the corners, you're really not going to see much of anything else. So I would focus, make sure this looks nice and neat to you, and then do the rest. So once the contact paper is on your foam board, it's all smoothed out, it's all folded over, everything looks good, you're ready to insert it on top of your shelf. Oh, and a quick note when you're cutting your foam board. As you can see in the video, I cut off the pieces I don't need, but when it comes to this front lip, I don't cut it all the way. I just kind of cut through the first layer of like poster board, the foam board, but then that next layer of poster board, I leave that, so then when I add the contact paper, it's already kind of, I can just fold it into it. The only thing is then you might have to then tape these lips down to your wire shelf, which is not a big deal, and that's actually what I believe I did that to the pantry shelves as well as the linen closet shelves too. So once everything's installed, you're ready to fill up your closet. I'm telling you, this is the easiest way you can cover your wire shelves. It can be temporary until you are able to maybe invest a little bit more into like some nice wooden shelves, or who cares? It's in a closet, the door's closed most of the time anyways. It does make it look nicer and you can move on to your next project. That's what we did. Okay guys, so that's all I have for this video. I hope you found it helpful and you're able to do this really easy upgrade to all your closets to make them look a little bit nicer. I have found when I take the time to make my stuff look nicer and organize it in a prettier way, I tend to keep it that way. If you liked this idea, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, you guys.